1984, Osage Beach had a population of just over 13,000. Surprisingly, they got a mall. Actually, they got two, but if you want to hear about the outlets, just watch last week's upload. With the mall already open in Lowry, people in Osage Beach needed a mall, and a mall they would get. Opened in 1984, an unnamed company, most likely being the city of Osage Beach, for shopping needs. It opened with one anchor and two junior anchors. I don't really know if I should count them as junior anchors because, they're half of an anchor, but I'm going to count them as both, kind of, like a medium-sized anchor. Anyway, the mall's lineup was not so good. The outlets kind of took away tenants, but this mall still had some. The stores included Sears, Saffers, Stonecrest Book and Toy, KP Toys, Hallmark, and Domino's, and many more. As soon as the outlets opened, Stonecrest had a competitor less than a mile away, stealing the limelight away from Stonecrest. In the 90s, the mall would do good. It would still attract customers, but not to the extent that the outlets did. As the outlets were thriving, Stonecrest would slow down. Since the town only had 12,000 permanent residents, the mall, in any other time than the summer, would just fall off. As 2000s reared their ugly head, more changes were coming for Stonecrest. In 2005, a state fair would took over more than half the mall. You know that little indent on the image I showed you? I'll put it on the screen right now, but the mall's going straight and then it kind of had an invert area. Well, that whole invert is now a state fair. I think a state fair is like a school or something. I'm not too sure. It's not really my problem. Anyway, the state fair took away half the mall in the middle, which I might remaster. I might actually go inside there. I can, but I keep going at the wrong time, so. Anyway, as the 2010s came, the mall would lose those good inside tenants, thanks to the recession, like Hallmark and KB Toys, and even Blockbuster in the parking lot. The economic slump did not help. People did not want to go to the Lake of the Ozarks anymore because of lack of money. Even the big outlets felt it worse than Stonecrest did. And just over the horizon, more bad news was coming. In September of 2014, a huge tenant would be lost. Sears announced that they would be closing after 30 years at the mall. They found that the store was not liable anymore, and they could just move down the street in a much, much smaller store. As the big box Target, Walmart, and Hy-Vee were all bringing in the money just across the street, a failing mall was on the other side, feeling it worse than they were. Many were just going across the street to the other places, and Stonecrest was kind of just being forgotten. In 2019, when the downtime for the mall came, Saffers would close. They were a women's apparel store. They would be shuttered. Now the mall only had a small anchor, and a state fair. Also around this time, the mall got a new paint job. the mall would fall on hard times in 2020. The mall kind of stalled. There wasn't much more tenants to lose, and the mall was just kind of putting chairs and tables in a space so they didn't look like they were not there. And its competitors, just a ways away, had closing stores left and right, being the outlets. It's like two beaten up wrestlers still fighting each other. But in 2021, even bigger news would come. In 2021, an Ashley Home store would take the former slot as the Sears down the road was closing. And about around this time, the mall would also bounce back in a way. The former Saffers would be an ASP swimming pool co., and the Domino's would close and a Table 33 eatery would open at the mall. Now you may think the mall's coming back, right? Right? Wrong. Now I made everything sound like it was doing better and everything, and how the mall seemed like it was more of going up and, sunshines and rainbows. But I forgot to tell you the tenant ratio of open tenants, the tenants that could be open. So there's 40 tenants that could be open in the entire mall. If it was at 100% occupancy, 40 stores would be open. And the mall has around 15 stores opened. So that means the occupancy rate of the tenants would be 37%. That is not very good. That means 63% of stores are vacant, more than 50%. And there's a second level underneath the level around the Ashley area. And it's more just like offices, but there's not really much there. Do you think this mall will outlive its competitors, or do you think this mall will fall downhill like it was projected in the past? Tell me in the comments down below, and anyway, I'll see you in the next one.